last game. I don't know if we're going to have that fixed for this one or not. But everybody's loaded into game. All spectators, all players are in. So we should be getting down into the draft right away here. Hello everybody, this is So Many Robots casting with Vic M, the Dota Battles Season 1, Series 1, Game 2. This is 343's team against Fearboners Kunkka's Tree Weasels. This is Captain's Draft, so only 2 minutes and 30 seconds for each team, and we've got 2 bands coming up before our picks. Vic, are you in game with me, buddy?
I am in game. Can you hear me?
Excellent, we have Vic.
Success. Alright, so now, first thing you do in a Captain's Draft game, so let's analyze the pool. It looks like we've got a good number of intelligence supports, a lot of good gankers, and good supports out on the strength side too, with Undying and Trian, Tuskar being run as a support. So this will be interesting. This is actually a really balanced pool.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot of mid-game carry potential, but there is some with the Ursa, with the Juggernaut, with the Sven, but a lot of hard carries.
Not that many mid-heroes. We've got the Storm Spirit, maybe Wind Ranger, Troll, Slark, Tiny. Just really not that much in the mid lane.
Yeah, not a whole lot.
But the teams are banning out. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just agreeing with you, not a whole lot of mid-heroes. One that I will point out that I run myself sometimes, because I am a lone druid player, is that lone druid mid can often be a nasty surprise for the enemy mid with just how dominant he is in 1v1 matchups.
Oh yeah, he's one of my favorite heroes. I think they could run that mid, but you really need to have somebody who knows how to play that hero to lane it mid against something like a Storm Spirit or even a Shadow Shaman. I think would have an easy time against Lone Druid, just sitting back and nuking.
Alright, so not a whole lot to talk about with the bans so far. We've got Kunkka's Tree Weasels banning out the Doom and the Lich. Both very strong controllers. Lich in particular just wins lanes for you, so you can clearly see why he doesn't want to have to deal with that. And 343's got the Ursa ban and is taking his time on the second ban, so we'll see what he comes out with here.
Definitely. In my opinion, the Doom ban comes out because they want to pick the Storm Spirit. So let's see if my prediction is correct. No, Shadow Shaman first pick, which is a good flex pick. I think he can run as a support or mid hero, especially in this pool without strong mid laners. Lion is an extremely interesting pick because I feel like there's a lot of gankers in this pool that are specifically good at killing Lion.
Yeah,
such as Night Stalker, actually, too.
We got that Night Stalker, still got that Slark, which can both do a lot of damage to a Lion very quickly.
Oh yeah, and we got the Bloodseeker, the Tusk, the Storm Spirit, Troll even. Once they get BKBs, they become very hard to dance. But Shadow Shaman is pretty much the sole pushing hero, which is pretty good. Enchantress is a really early game pusher, but can't really do much mid game.
If Kunkka's Tree Weasels... There we go. I was going to say, if Kunkka's Tree Weasels wants to double down on the push, they could reach for that Juggernaut Lone Druid. I wonder if 343 is going to feel the need to block pick with the Lone Druid, because the Druid Juggernaut is a very powerful combo.
Definitely, but that's what the Slark and the Night Stalker are meant to discourage. Just as these ganking core heroes.
10 seconds to go.
So I'm going to be curious where they wind up laning this Slark and Night Stalker. Both of them traditionally run as mid-heroes, but you see them run in the farming position often, and that's definitely going to be the case here for one of them.
And Slark with Pounce, he can offlane extremely well too. He can offlane against these heroes too. It looks like Kunkka's Tree Weasels don't really have a dedicated offlane hero, so we're maybe looking at a dual lane or the Living Armor just coming in and protecting whoever runs up to the off lane.
10 seconds to go.
They might even reach for the offlane tree. You see that occasionally with
5
an early point up in Nature's Guise.
Oh, one more from 343's team.
That's the Sven, so it looks like that is going to be an... well, is that going to be an offlane Slark? It looks like we've got Willemnot, who played the hard carry role last game, so we're going to have to see.
Oh yeah, that's a really good observation. Sven usually just relegated to that super hard carry, walks in late game with the BKB, Mask of Madness, whatever items, and kills everything. But he could... No, it looks like he's gonna farm. He's got Quelling Blade.
Alright, so let's go ahead and run down our drafts before these teams get going too far. Vic, do you want to take the Dire? Which I believe Dire is 343?
And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the team that lost the first game?
Correct. I believe last game was a win for Kunkka's Tree Weasels over on the Radiant.
Alright, so down 0-1, but with a really strong lineup. We've got 343, the captain, and the mid hero on Night Stalker.
30 seconds to showtime.
We're gonna have Slark and Wind Ranger up top. Willemnot on Slark, Cromwell on Wind Ranger in the top lane. And on bottom lane, we've got Dux Invictus on Sven and Diebear on Lion.
Alright, and switching over to the Radiant, it looks like this is Kunkka's Tree Weasel led by Fearboner. Looks like we're going to have Puzzle on your Jungle Enchantress. Dual lane bottom with 9 and SP. 9 who played that hard carry Wraith King last game. Fearboner taking that same Wraith King over to the middle lane this time, and a solo offlane Tree on WoW.
Yeah, and he goes level 1 Nature's Guise. So I think they're looking to just max his experience up top, which is a really interesting pickup. I like Treant. I always run him as a 5-position living armor hero.
Yeah, I think I've seen a few pro games with the offlane Tree, and I think that is generally what you do. You get an early point in Guise, and you're focused almost entirely, but stop that. We've got a level 1 gank going on mid. Diebear, Dux Invictus rotating in. Will Fearboner make it out? Salves up in between the hits. And Nightstalker gets him with the Void.
Wow. He had to double nuke for that. That's his whole mana pool, but it's so worth it. That early lead's gonna give them a lot this game. Night Stalker, with the new nighttime changes, you actually see him run less mid, just because ganking at 4 minutes is extremely early. But with First Blood, he might want to start doing that. He's gonna have phase boots or treads just really quickly. And Enchantress is looking to gank bottom.
But that Centaur,
great, minion for that.
Dux Invictus is very deep in the lane, so I think Radiant might be able to get this. Living Armor comes out for Enchantress. Blade Fury from 9.
Great War Cry. It gives him a little bit of movement speed that he needs. I think he's going to escape because of it.
Oh, a nice block. Diebear blocking out that Centaur so it can't get in to try to finish off the Sven.
Oh yeah, that is great support play. And he has the salve for our hard carry Sven. Really well done there. Sven built pretty greedily, just with the Stout Shield, Quelling Blade, Tango. Usually you see that on a safe lane carry if they're not expecting any pressure. But it looks like it's going to work out with Diebear just sitting there protecting him.
And going over to the off lane, we can see WoW's doing very little to trouble the Slark, who's 9-1 to WoW's 3-0. From 5 denies up on that Windrunner too, so WoW is really having trouble getting his XP over here.
That's what you expect when you run a solo off-lane Treant. Because he really has no mechanics that let him win lane other than his base damage, but he's melee. So he's just kind of in that unfortunate position of not really able to do anything, but stuck up there.
We see some more aggressive posturing on this lane down bottom. Shadow Shaman and Lion both thinking about wrapping around the side and discouraging each other from doing the same.
him. We have a DD rune up on the Night Stalker as we reach the 3rd minute. So he's got 1 more minute to get his boots. Let's see if they're on Courier. Yeah, he has boots on Courier. 2 levels of Hunter in the Night with the DD. I think we can look to see some really early aggression from the Night Stalker. And I really like this hero in that role. He becomes so strong so fast with those early levels.
In general, I'm not a big fan of Night Stalkers since the nighttime changes. I think it's much harder to get that snowball rolling out of control like you used to be able to. But this first blood and his lane dominance here is going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely. That's what, it really all just comes down to the early game for him. Oh wow, he might even die. Oh, he goes way too deep. This tower doing a lot of damage, but nighttime kicks in at the perfect time.
Yeah, and 343 will get away fine, but he's a little low on hit points and mana, and it looks like he is going to start taking off for the bottom lane. We've got another engagement going down.
The salve.
Dyer's mid tower.
Enchantress is almost kills the lion. Oh, if the Night Stalker goes around the back, these could be. Oh wait, no, he's on the other team. That's my bad. But he goes on the Enchantress, but those early levels in Untouchable extremely strong against him. So this is really smart from the Enchantress.
Are we going to see a dive on the Shadow Shaman?
Shaman taking damage. Gets stunned out. They're going to lose Invictus for this. And possibly die back. No, maybe not.
343 is going to man up and dive it.
Where are you going?
Oh, and he doesn't get it. He was 1 hit away. And I think, no, he has the salve. He's going to just survive. Get some mana. I think he has a shot at going for the Enchantress, but especially since she's running in a straight line, he doesn't want to.
Mid tower won't last much longer.
Meanwhile, we've got Slark just farming away up on top. He's got a complete ring of Aquila now, and wow, WoW has an energy booster, but no boots yet. So that is an interesting way to build up your arcane boots.
Yeah, it's pretty common. Oh, and he gets leaped on, but that early damage is so much. He's already hitting for 100, and we're 5 minutes into the game. He survives just because of his tankiness, the stout shield. Really well played by him.
Slark doesn't have
actually
his...
energy booster. Sorry.
I was just going to say Slark doesn't have his ultimate yet, so he's actually going to run all the way back to base to heal up. So that's some very important CS he's missing out on.
It's kind of important. He's ahead by. He had over twice as much as anyone else in the game when he went on the Treant, so I think he has a lot of room right now. What he really needs is experience. We're 6 minutes into the game and he's level 4. That's not amazing for a Slark. We really, in my opinion, this Wind Ranger would have been better used if she started stacking and pulling to get more experience for both of those heroes.
Hold that, we've got 343 popping a haste rune, running down into the Radiant jungle, pops his ult.
And haste rune is so excellent for ganking. But, yeah, Radiant team sees it and they just hide under tower. Smart move by them.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to see if the Enchantress spotted him out, or if that was just getting scared because he popped the ultimate.
No, I think they saw it coming. Yeah, it was I think it was purple ping, which means Juggernaut was pinging jungle.
Oh, and watch it, the Radiant Trollman didn't go on this Sven.
That is a max range shackle, so...
6 hit points on the Sven, and the spear finishes him off, and Enchantress takes the kill.
Got one last top tower.
Definitely, and now she's getting... Oh no, she's only level 4. I thought she'd have some better levels by now. Usually you see Enchantress with a power farming jungle a little bit more, which lets her do a lot more in these early engagements since Impetus is so strong in every stage of the game. Top tower does go down, which gives a lot of gold to the to the whole Dire team, really.
It looks like Wind Ranger
of this Treant.
Wind Ranger took the last hit on that tower, and there was nothing Treant could do to stop that. Meanwhile, it looks like we've got Wraith King, 343, and Chrome will go on in the mid, but 343 will throw away his life, and Fearboner just throws away his free Aegis. So no big loss for Radiant, and a big loss for Dire.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he was expecting the slow to do as much as it did. But a lot of people forget that the Wraith King reincarnation just has that 50% slow. That's huge. It really is. Let's see, double damage rune on the Enchantress, which is also going to be doing a lot. There's a Lion in a pretty aggressive position. He's going to get spotted out by the Hellbear. So let's see if Radiant can make this positioning and the DD rune turn into kills. Although Slark is up here and Slark is level 6. I think Slark has been the subject of a lot of really good buffs in the recent patches to his ultimate, and I think Pounce just doesn't get nothing breaks it.
Yeah, I think that's
so
right.
If he hits one, then they're golden. They have 4 people committed to this bottom tower. Both teams do though, so.
And the Slark is a very nice pick. The Slark is a very nice pick against the Juggernaut in that respect, because I don't believe Blade Fury lets Juggernaut get out of the Pounce.
It does? We'll have to see if that...
That's what I was saying. I believe it does not.
Oh, yeah. That would not surprise me at all. Yeah, it's Enchantress. It looks like that was really good timing
over the mid lane.
team.
And Slark and Windranger take down the Wraith King.
Oh wow, they're just picking on him now.
Now, only his level 1 ultimate got that 260-second cooldown, and it was nowhere near up after that engagement earlier.
Radiant's mid tower.
Yeah, definitely. So the engagement starts top. Juggernaut just dives in. The ultimate almost kills the Lion. He's left with 50 health.
But here
But
comes...
great stuns come out from both of them.
Oh, nice tree ulti.
Does freeze them in place. Oh, and the Shackle out on the Night Stalker, which is also huge. But it looks like both teams are just getting slowly chased out. The Treant goes down to the tower.
A lot of heroes limp away on Dire. But yeah, we just had what I believe was a 7-hero fight and only 1 kill on account of it.
Yeah, and this is one thing that I noticed with Treant's ulti, is that you really need to have heroes that benefit from that route. You know, as obvious as that sounds, something like a Luna, who can just sit back and just start right-clicking things while they're just out of range, is way more ideal than, say, Juggernaut Wraith King, who don't get huge advantages from that Treant ultimate. So I think that's a slight advantage in the draft for the Dire team. Just that Treant ultimate is
Pay attention, bottom lane, we've got a dive past the tower, Sven stun a Pounce.
Stun into leash is a great combo.
Juggernaut comes in, but he's scared on the back line.
See if he gets stunned here. Oh, it's a great double stun from the Lion.
Better days.
He gets leech seeded and he's taking a ton of damage from the Treant.
No breaking
we see a ping out from the Sven. Dire know the Juggernaut's down here.
He does not have a TP scroll.
Oh, and Sven finds him.
Turn deadly fast. The BKB, or the spin, does do a lot of magic protection. Nukes come out and Juggernaut's gonna go down here.
Oh, the Shadow Shaman gets lined on the back line.
And this Shadow Shaman has been on point this game with his abilities.
Oh, and the Sven sheds aggro at the last second, gets away with 20 hit points.
Radiant's top towers.
Oh my god, he has 5 hit points. That little extra armor from Warcry did it.
And and Radiant gets the deny as well.
Radiant's top tower's in bad shape.
So what did that trade wind up being in the end? Was that a 1-for-1 and Radiant denied the tower? Or were there more kills than that? There were 2 kills because somebody went down for Radiant at the front of it, right?
I think it was a 2-for-1. Either way, both teams are still staying in the area. Lion really wants to go on the Shadow Shaman. I actually agree with this choice. He's the squishiest and he's exerting the most influence at this moment.
Yeah, if they'd had the Night Stalker
they're
or
not
the
able to
Slark,
make
they
it
would back
happen.
them up.
Dyer's mid
If they had
tower.
the Slark, it was
Yeah.
the Night Stalker who was missing.
And this is the fear from Night Stalker. He's not utilizing these early night times.
Yeah, second night.
Well.
Second night now is
Okay, well,
usually.
let's see if you can make this into it.
Alright, oh, we got 5 heroes from the Dire converging on Fearboner in mid, and I do not give him good odds. He does have his ulti up.
Yeah, let's see if Reincarnate plus the... Oh! Okay, yeah, Reincarnate comes out, and the TP reaction. Really good counter initiation from the...
Nice spin by Jug.
There's just too many heroes. Too many heroes on the Dire side, and they chase the whole Radiant team out of that area. Good Shackle coming out from the Windrunner on the Enchantress.
Another tree ulti. Serpent Wards come out.
And that's the cue for Dire to bail. Let's see, Lion's move speed. His boots are in his stash.
Oh, but this Invis rune, he's gonna get to the Invis rune in time.
Tower could use a hand.
Oh my god, that was an amazing escape from the Lion. And this Night Stalker cannot aggro into 3 heroes. Especially with that healing word, although he really wants to. With the DD rune and nighttime up. If I were him, I would consider it. Enchantress doesn't have level 6. Juggernaut's ultimate is down, and Trina was pretty low.
And I want to talk, that Serpent Ward coming out, that's going to be a big hindrance to Radiant trying to push any towers anytime soon. They've got 60 more seconds before they've got that ready.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to use the healing ward, the vampiric aura, the enchantress creeps, and the Treant to just make a gigantic push with the serpent wards, and they weren't able to do that. So big early game advantage, even though the kill score isn't huge. The towers are currently 2-0 for Dire, and I think that's a huge advantage for the Dire side at this point in the game. They were just able to make much more of the early game.
Yeah, and with that Slark and Night Stalker,
Sven is farming up.
they definitely care about having all that map control. You can
Yeah,
see.
they're like we said during the draft, just great gankers in the pool.
Oh, we've got a little bit of downtime, but maybe... Okay, we do have some downtime. They're not going to go in Shadow Shaman. Let's take a look at the items, see if we've got anything big coming out. Looks like Fearboner's going into another armlet. Got a drum coming out on the Juggernaut, and nothing else big coming out for Radiant, but pause that. We got an initiation onto Puzzle in the mid.
Ooh, that Shackle came in at a crazy angle.
Oh, and will I not misses the pounce on the backside.
Yeah, Slark is that hero that if you don't hit the pounce, you do a lot less. Although he's able to get a couple good hits in with his ultimate. Juggernaut ultimate does a lot to the Windrunner. And it turns into a 2-for-0 for the Radiant side. Although both lanes are getting pushed in, the Night Stalker and the Sven are farming.
Tower ain't a pretty sight right now.
But yeah,
Looks
another...
like the Sven is probably going for Treads.
Dyer's mid tower.
I think Treads
Technical
is
difficulties.
going to be his choice.
Can't do nothing about Dyer's
It's a little
structures
odd
right
finishing
now.
up the drum before finishing your boots. I'd expect
Yeah,
it
that's not a
more.
bad choice.
I'd expect it
Because
more
he
out
was
of maybe
fighting early.
a support Sven who's having trouble deciding what items to buy. But we can see our other items on the Dire. Looks like we've got Cromwell and the Wind Ranger building into a mech. Vlad's and Ern already out in the Night Stalker.
Yeah, so this Night Stalker Slark are really good mid-game cores, and Dire team is just making really good choices as far as when to push, when to fight. They have all their mid-game items now. They don't really need anything else to just keep fighting, in my opinion. And yeah, see, they're even pinging out Roche. They want to take some big advantages right now in the mid-game.
This might be a dangerous fight to take because Radiant has perfect vision. They see everything going on.
Yeah. Even though they smoked in, they get spotted out, and they don't have a medallion. My opinion, early Roche like this is really hard without the medallion. So this is getting kind of risky.
The we'll see. The
And you
Serpent
see this
Wards are
Roche
off
is taking
cooldown.
too long.
Shadow Shaman's got those Serpent Wards available to him.
Oh yeah, even if they take this Roche, there's a chance they could lose this fight now. Really good Shackle, but the Shadow Shaman has no mana. He gets blown up.
Oh, nice job by Lion blowing up
two
that
so
Shadow
far.
Shaman before the wards come down.
Juggernaut has his ultimate now. Watch for this. Oh, where's the Omni Slash? Nope, he's not using it yet. Oh, and he might actually die.
I think he was trying to hold it until those Wind Ranger illusions got out of the way.
Yeah, and the Skeleton King's actually doing a lot of work now.
2 down.
Especially the Impetus and the Healing Ward. Wow, great fight from the
It's a
Radiant.
double kill comes out for the Enchantress, a buyback from Lion. Radiant's on the warpath, but I think they might want to recoup, get out while they're getting's good.
Looks like they want to keep pushing. This Slark, he's a really great hero 1v1, but if he tries to dive into 3 people, he can't do anything. So, they might want to turn this into a tower. No, early TPs. Fast TPs. Make it hard. That's going to be a tower deny.
Seems the Dire's
So-
big tower's been disowned.
Even though all of the pushers are on the Radiant team, Dire still gets a huge building advantage early on.
The Radiant really
3 towers and a deny.
hasn't been able to capitalize on that aspect of their lineup. They haven't gotten Serpent Wards down at a tower yet. They haven't been able to group up for those big pushes behind the Healing Ward and the Blade Fury that Juggernaut is known for. And we can see it actually looks like they're transitioning the Juggernaut over into more of a late game build. He's got 3 points up in Blade Dance and only 1 in the Healing Ward.
Oh yeah, and he's going straight for that Aghanim Scepter, but it is still a ways off. Not the best timing for him. Let's look at our net worths. He is 3rd though, so he's not too far behind the Night Stalker and the Slark. Looks like nobody this game is really sticking out in terms of money. Although Slark will finish his Basher.
That's
Slark
going to be
is
a
one of
very
those
big item for
heroes.
him.
Yeah, exactly. It's huge for him, just because usually a Basher doesn't mean that much, but Slark can fight so early and so effectively that that's pretty big.
And he can just go in at the front of the fight, get some stacks of Essence Shift up, back out, recover his health, and can go back in with the added agility to get those fast attacks and those easy bashes
Dire's
off.
bottom tower's getting the business.
Oh yeah. So at this point in the game, right when I was about to say this, the Lion puts down aggressive wards on the enemy Ancients.
Dire best do something about
Yeah, I was
the
gonna say at
bottom
this point in
tower.
the game, it's really when Dire should be looking to put down aggressive wards and try to get map control, since they have all these early kills and they have the early towers.
Yeah, I was going to comment earlier, back in the laning phase, there was a span when Dire had 3 wards sitting in the
What's with all
Radiant
the
jungle,
scribbling?
watching basically every single camp to know anything at all that went on.
There you go.
Yeah, and that's a straight up Enchantress counter technique.
Oh.
And the Skeleton King walks in, but this might be a great fight for the Radiant. So, Sprint Ward's doing a ton of work. Dire team not able to escape from them. Night Stalker goes down. Wraith King almost dies, but he still has his ultimate.
Oh,
Slark
and they
gets
saved
blown
the
up.
Shadow Shaman.
That is a 2-for-1. Shadow Shaman gets saved, and the Wraith King doesn't even die.
Dire might want to mind this.
He had his reincarnate. He was being focused down by the Night Stalker and the Slark. Just, wow. Terrible fight from the Dire side. That could turn into top tower and mid.
Tower's seen better days.
Yeah, I think what we're really seeing here is just the team fight edge that Radiant has as part of their lineup, with that reincarnation to lead with that big pile of meat in the Wraith King that Dire has to get through, and with the Serpent Wards, the Omni Slash, and the Overgrowth, there's just a whole lot of control coming out of these team fights for Radiant.
Oh yeah. Empiric Aura combined with the Juggernaut, who already hits for around 120, and the Treant, who hits for 120 also. That's a pretty good right click coming out from the Radiant team, and it does turn into 2 towers for them. So a huge swing. If we look at the gold graph, yeah, you can see it goes all the way from 7,500 to 2,500. just in the past 5 minutes for the in the Radiant team's favor.
You can see there's a similarly stark swing in the XP graph, a 3000 XP swing for the Radiant, which is still not a huge lead at this point in the game, but definitely showing those big team fights. Oh, and Mass Ping's coming out on Fearboner's Wraith King. Dire know exactly where he is, and they're gonna find him.
He has no teleport. He is going to have to pop his ultimate and just die twice.
Radiant are on their way. Is this going to become a fight?
He doesn't survive. Lion saved the Finger of Death. Serpent Ward's thrown in a okay place, but I think Dire can just run away.
The Serpent Wards actually blocked the tree and protector into the trees.
Oh yeah. And that turns into a double kill so far for the Dire. Looking to make it into a triple, but this Enchantress, which is surprisingly tanky. Oh, great spin from the Juggernaut. Turns into kill on the Sven, kill on the Lion. Now Slark's in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, he's running away.
And Radiant's going to keep chasing, diving this tower for the Wind Ranger, and Enchantress doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, that one impetus did a lot. Oh, great leap from the Slark. That pounce almost saved the Wind Ranger. Oh wow, that was a very intense fight. It turns out to go into Radiant's favor by a lot.
It was extremely chaotic. That gave Juggernaut his full Aghanim's, which should be coming out soon.
Really? Oh, wow, that is good timing then. Yeah, he's the huge winner from that fight. You see the Treant with his Blink Dagger able to do a ton of work. Although he really needs a mana pool at this point. He is going to go for Mask. Height, I'm assuming, is the direction they're going in.
Yeah, that's what I would expect.
Going on the Shadow Shaman. It's an interesting pickup. The Shadow Shaman getting the mech, probably just because they want their whole team to be slightly more tanky, rather than the usual mech carrier, which is the Treant Protector. Oh, they're going on Fearboner again. This time the ultimate's down. Great
nice
double
stun.
Overgrowth comes in. Overgrowth plus Shackles plus Serpent Wards. They probably weren't expecting Serpent Wards so fast. And that turns disastrous for the Dire team on the backside. Juggernaut taking down the Lion.
Oh, but the rest of Dire shows up.
Seriously,
It's a 2 for 3, and will Radiant pick up anything more?
Oh yeah, and that was a horrible decision from Dire to turn back. Juggernaut had his ultimate up. And it turns into a 5k for the Radiant.
Yeah, 2 for 5. Huge win for the Radiant on that. And that Juggernaut showing off that Aghanim Scepter to amazing effect. He just ate right through the Wind Ranger and the Slark there.
Oh yeah, he essentially 2v1'd them. And they were at full health too, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they were pretty close to it. He just slapped right through him.
Yeah, he did a lot of damage. Definitely showing the worth the Aghanim Scepter. And that's going to be the mechanism for the Shadow Shaman too. Radiant already having the dominant team fights. Just getting even more. If you look at the net worth charts, we now have Enchantress in second place, interestingly enough, while the Wraith King has been suffering.
Yeah, I was going
fights.
I was going to comment, you were discussing the mechanism on Treant Protector versus Shadow Shaman. I would have thought that the natural mech carrier for this team would have been that Enchantress. But it looks like they decided to pass it over to the other supports in order to give her enough room to work on an Aghanim Scepter, which she's actually very close to, just about 200 gold away from.
Yeah, and that's really good. Enchantress, you pick her because she turns into another core hero, because she's a great pusher, and the early levels in Untouchable make her really hard to kill when she goes for those early ganks. I don't think mech is the greatest choice on her, just because it costs so much mana. As we talk about this, Slark goes in, but as we said, the Untouchable makes her really hard to kill.
Overgrowth comes out, and there's the There's the big Omni Slash.
Juggernaut Aghanim's. The Omni Slash kills off the Slug, while the Lion goes down to these Impetus Spears. So yeah, like I was saying, if you look at Enchantress's mana pool, she generally never has mana because of how expensive Impetus is and how much you use it, which is why I think that putting the mech on someone with more mana is the better choice.
Yeah, that was definitely the right call this game.
Oh yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, this game, the Shadow Shaman. Oh, and that's a solo kill from the Wraith King.
Yep, sorry
Really bad
viewers.
sign.
I missed that over on the top lane, but that is a very impressive showing by Fearboner.
That's a really bad sign because it's nighttime, and that is the mid-hero 1v1 matchup. Plus, all of the mid-game items are on the Night Stalker. He's got Medallion, Urn, and his Vladimir's Offer.
I think that may not be natural nighttime. We'll see when the Night Stalker ultimate ends. I think that nighttime was just 343 pan. Yeah, so that was daytime when that kill began.
Oh, okay, yeah, he might have used it to escape. That's a lot of move speed. Slark leaps in.
Oh, nice disjoints the stun.
Ooh, Juggernaut dodges the stun. Although they're gonna drag him under tower. Oh,
Big tree ulti, big spin.
Oh, that is an absurd combo from the Radiant team. And the Serpent Wards finally come out and actually hit a tower. While Slark gets hit by the Wraith King's stun. And they also have a healing ward.
Dire's mid-tower.
This looks like GG for the Radiant side. Sven pick didn't really pan out. He's 2-7.
Nothing now.
Yeah, he's got his BKB in stash, but he just didn't have enough time to come online. Night Stalker and Slark haven't been able to make enough space for him, and Radiant has gotten very, very big.
Dire's mid-rank.
Yeah, and the good thing about the Radiant draft is that even with the BKB, it's not going to save you. You know, it's not going to save you against the Juggernaut's Omni Slash. It's not going to save you against Overgrowth, which is amazing, you know, positional advantage during team fights. And
You can see Radiant going right in for Roshan. I'm not sure if Dire have what it takes to contest this. Overgrowth is up. Wraith King's ultimate will be up in just 5 seconds.
yeah, now there's an invisible Treant just scoping it out. They managed to burst down the Shadow Shaman and the Enchantress. This could turn horrible for the Radiant side.
Oh, and Sven takes the Aegis.
It looks like a pretty good fight on the side of Dire so far.
Oh, and then Fearboner pops the BKB and mows down the Night Stalker, scares him away. Now it's just one-on-one, Fearboner versus Sven, and that Shackle Shot. That should spell. How is Fearboner regenerating that well? It's the healing ward.
Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom tower?
Dire ignored the healing ward there.
Sven, oh wow. Ignore what I said about not panning out, because he just panned out.
That BKB, I don't think anybody ever really underestimates it, but with God's strength, that BKB provides an enormous amount of damage on Sven, much more than on any other hero because of the way that ultimate works.
Yeah, definitely. Same with Strength Treads and Drum of Endurance. Just gives you a little bit of extra that you don't really expect.
There's a reason why I always think that Sven is sort of the king of comeback carries, because if he gets the BKB and you get one good team fight, the whole momentum of the match can shift. And still a lot of ground to make up for Dire, but that might be what we're seeing here.
Yeah, maybe. He just got his Massive Madness, so BKB is off cooldown, and they have the Aegis. I think this is their window. Top and bottom lanes are pretty pushed out for the Dire. they need to take what they have right now and turn this into an advantage for them. They need to get a smoke gang. I can't really think of what else would help them. I think they just need to smoke gank. I mean, farming is nice, but I don't think it's going to put them back in the game the way a couple kills will at this point. Although they do have time, the Aegis will last for a little while, and they might just want to wait until nighttime.
Yeah, we can see Radiant staying very grouped up down on bottom. 4 heroes moving together, while Juggernaut's off farming on his lonesome. And we can see 343 on the Night Stalker is going to move in for that Juggernaut. Will he find him? No.
No, he has Blade Fury TP. They won't. He's not really in that much danger, regardless of what happens, unless he gets a random bash.
Gave up the bottom tower.
Meanwhile, Radiant groups up, takes the Dire's bottom tier 1. Only 2 heroes here. I don't think that's enough to defend against this push. They're going to need more TPs if they want to hold this tower.
Yeah.
The Dire best do something about that bottom tower.
Oh,
So
nice
Radiant
shackle.
Really quickly turning around. That was a great shackle. Radiant really quickly just turned around that situation. Invis rune from the start could be huge. He's not getting hit by the Juggernaut ultimate, which pretty much only hits the Night Stalker and the Skeleton and the Sven, which is pretty good for the Dire team. But there's nothing they can do against this much burst damage.
Yeah, the fight falls apart completely. Without the confines of the Wash Pit, Sven's cleave really just isn't doing enough damage.
Oh yeah.
And that is a 4 for nil in favor of the Radiant.
Guess what's
Yeah.
happening to Dire?
And like I said, that little window they had when top and bottom lane was really pushed out, that disappeared really quickly, and Radiant did a really good job of making sure that window of opportunity was as small as possible for the Dire team.
Very nicely played by Radiant on that. And also, again, in downtime, something to point out, the power of the Treant Protector. If you take a look at Radiant's towers, they're almost all at full health. Which just goes to show you have to group up and make a major push against a tree. You can't do that little chip damage that we saw on the Radiant bottom tier 2 earlier. This tree will just heal it all back up.
Yeah, definitely. That was one of the things I meant to talk about during the draft. The Treant, Shadow Shaman, Enchantress, they're the only heroes picked that really have good influence on towers. Windranger can focus fire, but that's really not that strong, except for against tier 1s in general. Sometimes you see people just skipping over that just for stats. Lion phase boost.
That is a game changer right there.
Looks like Dire's gonna go for a GG push. They don't really have much choice here.
Yeah, I don't disagree with. I think that's about their best bet. We can see Dire's not have a lot of items coming out. Sven's got his Christus, which is probably the biggest they've had in a while.
They don't have any reveals. They don't see this Treant here, which could be extremely bad for them. Did Slark just get a lucky pounce on the Treant?
I think so.
And then they start to engage on the Enchantress. That untouchable, making it really hard, but
And Sven popped his
he's
ultimate.
able to do her damage.
Sven popped his ultimate before his BKB, so he got hexed up and ward trapped.
Yeah, he goes down. There's Wraith King. This Juggernaut ultimate just destroying the Windring. And pretty much all of Dire with 200 health.
You see Diebear on the Lion hiding there in the trees. Radiant have forgotten he's there, and he's gonna try to smoke out, and GG comes out from 343.
Yeah.
That's a win.
So overall, great series. Went 1-1.
Great series.
First game.
Very fun games to watch, and much more even, I think, than the final scoreline shows, especially the second match, where Dire really got off to a very nice start. and then just kind of had that game plan fall apart when Radiant got their team fight up and running.
Yeah, definitely. They had a very ganking heavy lineup, dire that is, and unless you can make that happen in the mid game with all those mid game items, really hard to make the game turn in their favor.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred seeing somebody with a bit more scaling potential than the Slarker Nightstalker. I feel when you grab both of those heroes, you've really sort of gone all in on that early mid-game ganking win.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the support. I think supports are, they shape the game a lot too. The Shadow Shaman and Enchantress are much more flexible than Lion and Windranger, who specialize more in killing things. So great first series, great first night. Thanks for streaming this. Thanks for having me as a co-caster.
Well, thank you, Vic, for your co-casting, and we are going to exit out of the game here in just a moment, and then I'll probably be shutting off the stream and going to go make myself some dinner. It's late over here on the West Coast. Right. So thank you to everybody. Good. Congratulations to all the players for a couple of great games, and have a good night.
Yep, thanks for watching.